since you're saying filing and citing, can you please start us off?
Clean up all into do not interrupt the teacher. Cover the body and cover the body. Starlight remains steam to ask Maggie. Jesus our kind and always do your best.
And always use our ways to solve problems and our non-negotiables. Scholars, the groups meeting with Mrs. Portnoy today are red, orange, and then blue. And the groups meeting with me today at my table are orange for first station and green for second station.
If you're going to computers, remember that if you haven't taken the STAR reading test yet, you need to do that first so that we can get everyone's new reading levels. Be sure to get those headphones on and be very focused because you only get to do it once.
I just did Monday to read it. I just put Monday and Tuesday here.
Alright, so all voices are off. Okay, so I just want to remind you before we begin that we're not shouting out. It's great that you all have a lot to say, but we made expectations when we started that we were going to do silent if we have something to say. Alright, so when we met last time, we talked a lot about Martin Luther King Jr. and we read a little bit more about his life. Who remembers the words that we talked about when we were, before we read Martin Luther King? Ashley, can you give me one word that you remember we talked about?
I think we talked about the word,
Laws. We learned about the word laws. And who remembers what synonym? So that's one strike for shouting out. Who remembers the synonym for the word laws? Evan. Rules. Yeah, laws are a lot like rules. I want you now to look in the book and find where we read about laws. Once you have found a page, please give us a silent thumb. I see Ashley in the way has found the page. Evan has found the page. He's going to give me a silent thumb to let me know. And Braulio has found a different page. Okay. So, Noe, since you have the same page as Evan and Ashley, will you read us a sentence that has the word law?
One time with a law and some people that said only white people could say of the policy and that white people are to say in the bed.
Beautiful reading and fluency, Noe. So what does law mean in that sentence, scholars? Great job on the silent thumb. So what does law mean in that sentence? Evan.
Law means in that sentence that the white people are to say.
Yeah, so it's like a rule, and it's a rule saying that only white people can sit in the front of the bus and colored people sit in the back. Braulio, I'm looking at your book and I see that you have a different page. Can you read to us the sentence that has
There
law?
was laws in some people that said that African Americans could only use something for restaurants or something.
So what's the law in that sentence? What's the rule? Yeah, they used to have a law in a way that was called separate but equal. So people could have drinking fountains, but they had different fountains. So remember how we all learned about Jackie Robinson and teammates? We had the New York Dodgers, the all-white players, and then we had the Negro Leagues, which were for African Americans. So it was separate but equal. They had their own different sides. They didn't have the same. So since we're talking about separate and equal value, there's another word that I think will help us understand the book overall. You can read it as I read it. Read it once in your mind. Now read it aloud.
Equality.
Equality. Reading together. Equality. What were you saying? Equality, yeah. Who has an idea what equality means? Braulio, what does equality mean?
I think it means like they like the same, like they can have like drinking fountain, but they're separated. They're equal.
They're equal, yeah. So they have equal things. Equality means the state of being equal, right? The state of being equal. So one way that helps me remember the definition is that equal is in the word equality. What's a synonym for equality? No, we're not sure. No way. Can't tell if you have it come out there. Okay. What do you think? What's a synonym for the word equality? So equality means the state of being equal or fair. No way. Same. Same is definitely a synonym for equality. Ashley?
I was thinking that equality for equality is you have the same amount.
You have the same amount in a beautiful, complete sentence. Ashley? Evan?
It means the same.
It means the same or the state of being the same or equal. Same. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of same and a lot of equal. One that I was thinking of, Braulio, is fairness. If we want things to be fair, then that means they have to be the same. It's fair that all third graders get the same amount of time. Equality. So now that I bring up equality, I want you to think of that word and keep it in your mind and remember what it means. Why did Dr. King feel the laws were unfair? Why did Dr. Martin Luther King think the laws were unfair? So we learned about the law, some of the laws. It said that only white people could sit in one section and black people could sit in the other. African Americans had to have different restaurants and different drinking fountains. So why did Dr. Martin Luther King think the laws were unfair? We'll do a quick look around. Actually, starting with you.
Martin Luther King Jr. thought it was wrong because that only white people could go to restaurants and black people couldn't. So he wanted people to go to the same restaurant.
Actually, stop for a second. Probably that's a cartoon. Your eyes need to be trapped in the
Go to the same fountains and go to the same playground. Because when I read the book, it said there was white people.
That's beautiful. So, lovely example, okay? No way, since we're doing a quick look around. So, why did Dr. Martin Luther King think the laws were unfair?
Because there was not equal.
It wasn't equal. There was no, there was no equality. Great job, Braulio. Why did Dr. Martin Luther King think the laws were unfair? Okay, so can you put in a complete sentence? I agree.
I agree with her.
And you said you wanted to add, so what would you like to add?
People were the colored people were the white people, and the colored people, so the white people are second people, the black people, and it was the other way around.
What if it was the other way around?
White and black.
I don't know. What would happen if maybe that's a question we can talk about at the end.
And white, and they had in my ocean crackers, Narrington, it wouldn't stop.
I don't know. What would happen if the roles were reversed? We'll come back to that question at the end. Evan, why did Dr. Martin Luther King feel that the laws were unfair?
Because they treat them like slaves and they don't want to be treated like slaves.
Yeah, they're not treating them like people. They're treating them like animals, not like slaves. They used to treat them like slaves, but they're treating them still like they're animals. So we need to practice and showing out. We're getting better, but we still need to practice. All right, Scar. So remember, Braulio said, what would happen if the roles were switched? What would happen if white people were treated like African Americans and African Americans were treated like white people? So I want you to change the beginning of the page and reread the story again with that question in mind. I want you to remember that what question. Starting at the very first page. Remember, I need you to whisper voices to know that you are reading. Great job, scholars.
1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His parents left him very young.
No way, and Ashley, I love that I can hear you even though I'm with you.
Martin Luther King had the same name as his father, except for one thing. His father was called Martin Luther King
Senior.
Martin was called Martin Luther King Jr.
So I want you to look at the notes right now. Why do you think Dr. Martin Luther King, this Martin Luther King that we know, was called Junior?
Because he was born after his father.
Great job. Awesome. Okay.
Martin became a pastor just like his dad at the Spencer Baptist Church in Atlanta. There were both called Reverend. The Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and the Reverend Martin Luther King. Martin's job as minister was
The A is silent.
he visited sick people in the hospital and made them feel better.
So the Y is supposed to be the long A sound.
Each other.
He
He
Sorry, say it all
said
together.
that there was peace away to solve problems.
So the A is silent, and the Y is making the long E.
The Reverend Martin Luther
still say the R.
King Jr. was famous because he helped our country change some of its laws.
So one thing that I have is that this one's true. So in this word, it's almost like you're saying the word tree, árbol. So say it together, remember that word tree.
Yeah, the black people had to
There you go, now say it all together. There you go. Say those sentence all together. Yeah, we all learned it.
Rosa Parks and other people led to change it. Now all people considered and he was when there was a law in some places, African Americans could be used serving restaurants and drinking fountains. Martin Luther King meant other people change it. Now all people can share the same restaurant and drinking fountains. When there was a law in some places that said that black children and white children could not go to Martin Luther King and other people, including many very brave children, and this law changed to that black children and white children, just like his dad, in school together. Martin King had a special talent for leadership. When he spoke